numbers that have just been released by the fund, I believe the future seems bright for them, given the fact that they've posted some good growth. We now have the fund total assets, hitting almost 10 trillion Uganda shillings. Because if we round off that figure, the 9.8 something, you come to around 10 trillion. That is quite commendable. So I expect a fairly bright performance going forward. I think it's a good development. Of course, it tells you that they've invested quite some effort in ensuring compliance. As they say in their report, compliance on the part of the employers especially has fairly improved. But I think it could also be an issue of vigilance, like I said, which has helped. But also we shouldn't forget that the economy is growing. The economy is expanding because the number of companies that you had last year are not the same that you had this year. So if you factor all that in, I think it adds a thing or two on the numbers that you have there. Okay, from where I sit, I really feel that Nssf is a really big entity, but its impact in driving smaller businesses or contributing to, well, I would classify them under micro, small and medium enterprises, is really not yet realized. I believe we should have, and I think this goes beyond Nssf to the regulators, we should make the fund have a regulatory regime that ensures that the money held by the fund can easily be accessed, by players in that business docket, the SME docket. Because as it is now, we see quite a lot of money held by the fund in government securities or fixed income. I think a huge portion is there. You have a bit in stocks and real estate. However, I believe more of this money should be freed to drive the small and medium enterprise players. And the reason why I'm saying that is that most of these people, their biggest concern is that they normally get short-term money from banks. Now, Nssf holds long-term money. And with long-term money, you can be able to give people fairly competitive or good rates. They can be able to borrow on interest rates. Because if you ask any small business, they will tell you one of their biggest challenges is the cost of money. The interest rates are high. Now, Nssf, I believe, has the key to really, turn around that. But it should be enabled, to do that. And that, I think, that's why I was saying it goes beyond the fund to the regulators coming in to ensure that happens. Of course, for starters, to the savers, it protects you for tomorrow. You have your fallback. It's like after everything else, after what you're doing, goes away, either because of age or because of, you're incapacitated, you can no longer work. You have this fallback position. So I believe it's one way to actually save for the future, especially that time when you cannot work. That is if God keeps you up to that time. But then even if you to pass on, it's something that your dependents can rely on. That is on the side of the savers. But then for the economy, it also helps to contribute. At the end of the day, it's going to help you, because if this fund grows and the environment is enabling, then probably you can also go there, or you can benefit through a bank or any other investment vehicle to actually access this money for business. And for the economy, of course, it is money that can be borrowed still by governments and that kind of thing, to support infrastructure bonds and the like. Still, if the regulator with the environment warranties that money.
Nssf, a better life.